NYX has a new $9 concealer, and we're gonna be putting it to the test on these under eyes. Let's see how this goes. Let's see if this is worth the $9 or not. Wear test, review, y todo eso. You're gonna see it today right here, so keep watching. Okay, bonitas, before we get started on this video, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button so that you're able to become a member of our familia bonita. I would love to have you here because we talk all things beauty and I don't want you to miss any of it. Also, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoy watching my concealer reviews and wear tests. Everything that I use on today's face will be listed down below in my description box so that you can click on the links, check them out. And also they will be popping up on the screen as I go so that you can click on them and check them out as I apply them. That always really does help me out, and if you do decide to purchase, that also helps this channel continue to grow, but you're not obligated to, but it's greatly appreciated. So muchas gracias, bonitas. So now let's see how this concealer does. I did go to Ulta because I wanted to see what new there was, and I was very shocked to find the new NYX Wonder Snatch Concealer. I know this came out a few weeks ago, but now it's finally in stores at Ulta. I was also very shocked to see that they only retail for $9. I also did pick this up in the shade Medium Olive. So this is Snatch It Like a Facelift Look. NYX Professional Makeup Wonder Snatch Concealer. It's a full coverage matte finish concealer, up to 24 hours hydration, and also it does come in 23 different shades. This is cruelty free. This also does have pigments that blend seamlessly to snatch it all with a one-stroke wonder. It's infused with guarana extract, known for its energizing skin boosting effect, with peptides known for collagen support. Elevate your daily routine with a full face of wonder. Wonder Snatch lets you brighten under the eyes, lift the cheekbones, highlight the forehead, chin, and sculpt beneath the cheeks for a reverse contour. The formula lets you build all the way up for full coverage. It's waterproof, fade, and transfer resistant. So let's see. So I'm gonna start off with one eye. I'm gonna go ahead and do this eye right here. And I'm just gonna take a little bit, not too much. Feels very lightweight and creamy. Just very first impressions, very refreshing. Now, mind you, this is supposed to give a full coverage and a matte finish, so I'm very curious to see that because I feel like it's been a minute since I've had something be more on the matte side. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in with a BK Beauty brush. This is the Angie Hot and Flashy in the A506. And I think I'm gonna start off by blending this out. This is like the thinnest layer of concealer. I also really did like this color of concealer because it's not too like yellow and it's also not too pink. I feel like it goes really well with the complexion. A technique that I've been doing lately when it comes to my concealer is kind of giving it a few seconds to become one with the skin, and then kind of starting off by dragging the product downward first to kind of blend it out into the rest of the makeup, have it become one with the foundation that's already sitting on the skin, as well as the blush, and then going in with whatever's left and kind of just blending it very nicely right here at the top. I will say, even though this does claim to be full coverage and matte, it's very lightweight and easy to blend. It feels very hydrating. It does not feel heavy and thick, because sometimes some concealers, they can feel very heavy and thick when you first apply them. This doesn't feel that way. Coverage is not bad. Look at that coverage. So now I'm gonna go in with my NYX Wonder Snatch Powder 03 Peach Posse. I'm gonna take a little puff and I'm going to apply some of that powder right where I tend to crease easily. So like right here. Ooh, this concealer looks nice. It doesn't look cakey with the powder. That's something too that I like to pay a lot of attention to, is how concealer sits with powder, because sometimes with some concealers, powder can make it look very cakey. And this isn't doing that. And like I said, I think that's where that technique that I'm using now, where I'm going in with not as much concealer, less concealer, but also taking it downwards, blending it out into the foundation and the blush, and then leaving a little bit of it up here so that it's not oversaturated at the top with a bunch of concealer. So then when you go in with powder, where I do crease, it doesn't look heavy and just to drying, this is like perfect. And also, I will say this formula is, even though it does claim to be a matte formula and more full coverage, it is very, very lightweight. Okay, I'm impressed. So this is with a concealer, and this is with no concealer. I think it looks really nice. I think what I like the most about it is that it does not look heavy, and it doesn't like look cakey. Sometimes with concealer and powder, everything gets like very cakey. This does not look like that. So now let's go ahead and do this eye. Okay, I think I went in with a little bit more, so I'm gonna keep it light right there. I do really love how lightweight this formula is. So I'm gonna first blend this out. Then I'm gonna take this and blend it downward. Doing this technique really allows for you to get a lot of that product away from just being directly on the under eye, because I do feel like when you leave too much product directly right on the under eye, it can kind of look a little bit more cakey because it's just a lot of product underneath of there, and it could all kind of like bunch up, as opposed to if you spread it out in this under eye area seamlessly, it can help disperse that product out so that it doesn't carry too much product right in the center here. And then of course, let's say you went in with too much blush and you kind of want to like sheer it out a little bit, you can go back in and just disperse that a little bit more. So I'm blending everything out, and so nicely. Also, I've been obsessed with this brush by BK Beauty. It is so nice. You guys were not wrong about it. It is really good. It's honestly quickly replaced my holy grail, which is the House Laude's one. I still love this brush, but I just like how this one is fluffier. Therefore, I feel like it blends better. Okay, so we disperse that product out. Again, not too much. I don't want to overdo the powder. And I'm just gonna target that right on that under eye. I'm just gonna let that powder sit there for a sec. It can absorb any of that creasiness that may occur right where those lines are. Okay, I gave it a few minutes to absorb, so I'm gonna go ahead and dust that away. Yeah, I mean, wow. Wow. Wow, NYX. I have to say, I'm impressed. And I have tried 2 other concealers this year that are new from the drugstore. The first one was the e.l.f. I wasn't the biggest fan of it. I know some people love it. For me, it wasn't my favorite. I tried that one. Then I also tried the Essence one, which is nice. But this one may take the cake. Just blends so easily, and I like how lightweight it is, even though it does claim to be a concealer that is matte and full coverage. I feel like it's still very much so lightweight. I also applied a little bit of concealer, as you can see, in the midsection of the face, and I think it did really well, but I'm mostly impressed with how it did on the under eyes. Now, I will say the shade Medium Olive is definitely a more suitable match, to be kind of closer match to my complexion and like the foundation shade I like to wear. So it's not too brightening. I would say if you do want more brightening and you are around my complexion, I would probably go a shade down. But I feel like this shade, as we go into the summer, you know, with the warm months, I think this is going to work just fine with my foundation color. But like, it really did a beautiful job of covering those imperfections on the under eye, but also not looking cakey or heavy. Like, it just looks really nice. And it doesn't dry down too fast. I find that sometimes with concealers that are a matte finish or full coverage, or matte and full coverage, they tend to dry down quickly, but this is not doing that right now. Like, it's not drying down too quick. So that is a good thing. So this is the completed look right here. This is what we have right here with the new NYX Wonder Snatch Concealer. So this is what it's looking like. I have to say, for the concealer, I'm very impressed. I really like the lightweight consistency, but I love the fact that it doesn't dry down too fast considering that it's a matte concealer. It also blends so seamlessly on the under eyes. I think the color works well. Could I have more brightness out of the concealer? Probably, if I went with the lighter color, but to be honest, like this, I think it did a beautiful job of covering that under eye darkness, which is what I really did need. And I love how it looks on the under eyes right now. It doesn't look heavy, it doesn't look thick, extremely lightweight. Now, like I mentioned, this is the more creasy under eye, so this probably will crease a little bit faster, but we're gonna begin this wear test to see how well this concealer lasts for the day. Right now, it is 10:35 in the morning. We shall see how this all looks later. I'll also do an in natural lighting clip so you can see how this looks with the natural light, the brightness and all that stuff, so you definitely don't want to miss that. But first impressions for $9, this is looking good. Okay, bonitas, it is 12:02 and this is what the makeup looks like. I actually just got back from the gym, but the concealer is looking good on this side, but over here it's creasing. It's creasing a little bit more than I would like it to. But this is my more creasy under eye. This is my regular under eye. So it is creasing. Everywhere else it looks nice, but the creasing is there. So if you have creasy under eyes, just keep that in mind. Right now it is 5:38 p.m. and we've been wearing the new NYX Wonder Snatch Concealer for the entire day, and I have some well-developed thoughts. The last time you guys saw me was for an in natural lighting clip, and I did point out that I had a little bit of creasing. Well, not a little bit, a good amount of creasing on this side right here. The creasing is pretty bad on this side. Like you can see right here, it is very, very, very creasy. And I did mention this is my more creasy eye, and then this eye, my less creasy eye, actually didn't do too bad, okay? Not too bad considering all things. Okay, so here are my thoughts on this new NYX concealer. I have to say, for the formula, the consistency of the product, how lightweight it is considering its full coverage and matte, I give it a 9 out of 10. Okay, I'm very impressed with that aspect of it. I also really love how easily it blends into the skin, and how beautifully it just covers any of that darkness or anything that you want to cover on the under eyes. It does a really good job of covering that up, which I think is a plus, which is why I give it such a high rating, because I am impressed with how well it did with that aspect of this product. Also, I have to point out the price, $9. $9 is not bad for drugstore, because a lot of concealers at the drugstore are pricier. They go for like 10 and up. This one, e.l.f. managed to keep it low too, $5. Also Essence. So I will say these are more on the affordable side than other concealers that I have tried from the drugstore that kind of teeter more to like $10, $12. So 9 isn't too bad. It's closer to 10, but still I think I can appreciate the fact that even though it is a little pricier than the $5 ones, this formula is really nice. And although it did crease a lot on this eye, it's still perfectly in place. If you have very, very creasy under eyes, this may not be the concealer for you, because you're seeing it right here. It does crease pretty bad. I am gonna continue testing this out because I do like how it looked on my non-creasy eye. Like I feel like it looked perfect. Also, if you can see, the under eyes are still nice, matte, and in place. It's like it has good lasting power, which I also give it a 9 out of 10. It's just the creasing, I would say, for something that creases a lot, not good. If you bonitas have any recommendations on how you like to fix your severe creasing, like if you have very, very creasy under eyes, give me your tips down below. Also give us your tips, because I know it can be really helpful to kind of see some comments down below and, you know, bounce off ideas off each other. As we're reading the comments, we are a community, so it always really helps to give each other great feedback on what works and what doesn't work. So just keep that in mind. So overall, I will say I give this concealer, all things considered, a 7.5/8 out of 10. Like if I had to just give it a full rounded, all things considered rating, I would say between a 7, more closer to 8. I would say 8 out of 10, just because that creasing, if you have a lot of creasing, is not the best. Price point, formula, longevity, all really, really good. But let me know your thoughts. Have you tried the Wonder Snatch Concealer? What are you thinking? Is this a buy or no buy type of product? Let's go ahead and chat down below, bonitas. I really appreciate you sitting here and watching this video today conmigo. And please don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to join La Familia Bonita. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you guys have a fabulous day. Don't forget to stay safe, stay blessed, and stay beautiful. Y nos vemos pronto. Adios, bonitas.